Thank you for joining me on Million Mile Astrocartography, where I break down how locations shape your experiences, decode the energy of your name and birthday, and tap into intuitive messages to help you move with clarity and intention. And today I'm going to channel some messages through sacred geometry. This was a skill that I did not know that I had, and I just kind of randomly discovered it one day when I was talking on the phone. So that might be relevant to you. You might have just developed a skill that you tapped into that you had no knowledge of prior to, that comes easily to you. Today feels like a lot of nervous energy, but like in an exciting way. So you might be preparing for something special, preparing to surprise someone, preparing to celebrate something. Happy birthday to all of my Aries family out there. I've got a lot of Aries birthdays coming up. My birthday is coming up. My daughter's birthday is today. Very Aries heavy in my family. The channeled message that came through today is you are being held and supported through a necessary period of transition. I don't know if the other messages that are going to come through will give us more insight into what exactly that is, but we're going to see if I can tap into some more messages through sacred geometry and then get some confirmations from the Oracle deck. I should have taped this down, but I just jumped right in. That could also be a thing right now, is you feeling like you just need to strike while the iron is hot. This is a message that's coming through already. You might not have like all of the details planned out, but you feel like the time is right for you to move forward with something and you're just ready to go. You could be somewhat of a perfectionist, and even when you feel like something doesn't look good or isn't perfect, it exceeds other people's expectations, or other people feel like, how did you do that so quickly, so easily? You made it look effortless. Whereas you might be hard on yourself and think that the things that you create or what you're doing look like crap. It actually looks amazing to everyone else. You might be itching to start something new. I just had like this itch on my left eyebrow. Itching to get away from the past. Yeah, that might really be bothering you. The past, something in the past happened that really is bothering you, and you want to move forward into some different energy. You could feel nervous, like butterflies in your stomach, or a little, I don't want to say fear, but like, it reminds me of the night before the first day of school. Every year I felt like so nervous. It was hard to sleep. Even though for like years and years, after a certain point, I was like with the same people in school year after year, but for some reason I was always feeling like the next year it was going to be like, how do I I put this? It was going to be different. Like I was going to have to make new friends or meet new people, even though I was with these same people year after year. I had this like nervous energy, like very anxious. That's probably the best word, about going to a new grade level. Even though I knew all the people, even though I had friends I'd been keeping in contact with year after year, that was like a very anxious time. So starting new things may bring you some anxiety. You may have to overcome a lot of fears in this life. I'm going to just probe this, see what messages that I can get. Yeah, overcoming fears may be a recurring theme. Like every time you get comfortable and get settled into where you're living, what you're doing, where you're working, things get shaken up and you have to move energetically to a new level. And that might look or feel like having to change responsibilities or learn new things or move to a different department or learn new skills to keep up with the changing times. And this might be a source of stress or anxiety for you, not feeling like you can ever just settle down, grow roots in a particular area, or you may feel like you've gone to a particular place and what seemed like a good fit turned out to not be a good fit, and you need to pick up and move because it's not a good fit. But you always end up in a better position than where you started at. So if you do have to pick up and move, the next place is better than the previous place in some aspect. Oh, swimming is coming through. Emotions, swimming. You might have a lot of emotions about this, like feeling like it's not, you feel unsettled by it. You don't want to do it all the time. Swimming through emotions. But a way to transmute that energy is actually going within and not allowing the emotions to overcome you, to quiet your mind, observe the emotions, let them move through you as opposed to you being controlled by them, so that you can make better decisions. It's almost like detaching yourself from the emotions, but not detaching from reality. You got to learn to walk the fine line of detachment from emotions, but staying grounded in reality. You may want to look up the spiritual significance of fish. You may have seen some interesting fish recently. You may be cooking fish. There's a lot of energy swirling around right now. So there's going to be a lot of charged emotions. The message is coming through to stay balanced in your emotions. Don't get swept up in the energy that's swirling around. There's a lot of things changing right now. And this energy that is swirling around is trying to bring order to chaos. But you can stay grounded and avoid getting swept up in the chaos as it's getting balanced back out. Plan. You might feel overwhelmed trying to make plans for the future right now, but the message that's coming through is not to try and plan so far out in the future. Maybe break those plans down into a lot smaller actionable steps and not get so focused on the end result. Like, have an end result in mind. Like, I want to be, okay, have an end result in mind, but that end result should not be specific to a particular, I'm thinking about like a place. So if you want to move to a different location, you might not know where that location is, but how do you want to feel? How do you want your days to be structured there? That is the focus. Focus on what you want that location to make you feel like. What is it that you're missing right now in your life that you're craving, that you feel like a change in environment might help you to bring, and not get so focused and bogged down on trying to figure out the specifics of where that location is, because that will be revealed to you at a later time. So yeah, right now, organizing exactly what you want to get out of a particular situation, place, thing is going to be your better way of focusing your energy as opposed to the thing itself. And then allow that energy to help bring in the best situation, place, thing for you. Because sometimes we can't always anticipate what exactly it is that we want, but we know how we want to feel. Some of you are very beautiful, like physically beautiful, but also very beautiful on the inside. And that may be really hard for you in this lifetime. It may create a lot of situations where you are, what's the word? You are judged incorrectly because someone looks at you and assumes that you're not intelligent or you don't have a depth to you. And they're really taken aback once they get to know you and realize that you are actually extremely intelligent. I hear penetrating mind. Like, maybe you have the ability to connect dots and see relationships and cycles, whereas someone else might not even notice that particular detail, but your mind is very penetrating. It can dive deep into topics. You can master things very easily and quickly. But from the outside, people judge you prematurely before they get to know you, or maybe you don't actually reveal this skill as soon as you meet people, because it also helps you to navigate your way through this world. And it helps you to avoid scenarios where you are taken advantage of by people who don't have good intentions for you. It allows you to see into possible outcomes of situations before they occur so that you can make moves to protect yourself. This is a gift that you brought into this life. You may not recognize it as a gift, but I'm telling you, it's a gift. Not everybody's able to do that. So now that you know that it's a gift, you may actually start to really honor and protect it. All right. It's telling me to go to the cards. That just burned. You might be feeling the fire right now. Yeah. You might be feeling the heat, feeling the fire. Things are warming up. You need confirmation for these messages that are coming through. Boundaries. Where do you need to establish better boundaries? Where do you need to say no? Where do you need to stand up for yourself? You might want to take a closer look at where your boundaries are leaking that is allowing others to treat you in a way that you aren't comfortable with. That's where you might need to put up a boundary. Unbound. Releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. We'll read the book for that one. But what I'm kind of getting is when you set boundaries, this is going to happen. You'll release soul patterns, contracts, and past lives that have held you back. You're not doing this alone. There's actually help from subtle realms, Council of Light, divine orchestration, helpers in the subtle realms. Because you're birthing a new age, birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. So this is what is going on right now. You're being held and supported through a necessary period of transition. Because you're birthing a new age, bringing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. I'm going to find the book so I can read Unbound. Ooh, sorry. Okay, so I'm in the process of creating my own oracle deck. It's actually going to be for sale next month. Or possibly at the end of this month, just depending on how fast I can get the last minute touches together on the deck. But that may be significant for you. You may be feeling a little flustered trying to get everything together, the last minute touches on something that you are birthing. That's a new creation. So Unbound, releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. It's time to release old soul stories that have been playing out in your life. They are coming up to be healed. There has never been a safer time to clear these patterns than right now. Take a look at patterns in your life that you are ready to release. Ancient vows and contracts that your soul made that have an expiry date. It could be a confirmation. My dog is out there barking. It could be a vow of silence or chastity or poverty. It is time to unwind from them. This is the life in which you free yourself from trauma of past lives. What old ways of being have an expiry date? When you name them, you claim them, and they stop holding power over you. When acknowledging these old patterns, it is also important to acknowledge how they have served you up until now. For example, a soul pattern of playing small caused by a soul fear of being seen or sharing your voice could have served you by keeping you safe. In order to grow, you now need to soften by receiving and calling in support. And it is time to unbind from old ways of being that are no longer sustainable. This card is an activation card, so I'll read the activation. Hold this card to your heart or place your hand over your heart and say, I release all old soul stories, vows, and contracts, patterns that are no longer aligned with who I came here to be in the present time. I carry the lessons, growth, and gifts, but I no longer choose to live the same story. May I be unbound, unbound, forever unbound. So that may be significant for you. You may be repeating a cycle from even a past life that is coming up in this lifetime for you to heal and move forward and to ascend. You might want to check out, if you type in on YouTube like past life readings, you might benefit if there's a past life reading that catches your eye, listening to it, to just get some intuitive insights on what your current situation is that you are experiencing. It's actually kind of shocking, some of the past life reads that I've listened to, that I have heard people describe like exact scenarios that I'm going through in this life. So it's so interesting how you will continue to go through the same themes until you learn the lesson. And I can tell now in this lifetime, when I have achieved a level of mastery in a lesson and I'm moved to something else, because what happens is whatever I was going through stops, things slow down and calm down, kind of like if you were in an ocean going through a turbulent storm and then all of a sudden the water becomes calm and clear. That's how I can tell that I've like mastered a lesson that I was going through. That similar pattern of things being turbulent finally become smooth and stop. So kind of think about what cycles you have noticed, patterns of repeating themes in your life, even from childhood up until now. It could be encountering people who want to take advantage of you, feeling like you don't have a voice that is heard, people constantly misjudging you, and then because they're wrong, instead of apologizing and moving forward, they make it their mission to like double down and treat you poorly because they're ashamed of the way that they misjudged you. The boundaries card could be really a key to unlocking some of these cycles that have continued way past their expiration date. And you're not doing this alone. You've got help. So call in help from the subtle realms and continue to move forward with birthing your creations, because this is where you're going, not continuing to repeat repetitive cycles of pain and trauma. That is not what you're here to do. You're here to move forward. All right, that was the message that came through today. Thank you for joining me. May your line elevate your shine, and I'll see you in the next message.